Okay, so the third step in building a hat is putting the crimp line in. And most people use a deal called a flange bag or a sand bag to put the crimp line in the hat. We actually put ours in by hand. So what we do is we have a block that's built for the hat. It's on the inside here. We built a block for that hat, for whatever the shape of the head's going to be. And then we actually wet the hat brim down, and we actually use a regular old iron, and we iron the brim out. So once the crimp line's in, like I said, it's another 24-hour drying time. Then after that, the hats go back in the other room where the other people were, and then they start sanding on the brims. Okay, so now we're back into the other room where we do the crown iron, and we sand the crowns, but we also sand the brims in this area as well. And what I wanted to do is let you look at Rosabelle right here. He's sanding the brim on a hat, and we do it all by hand. So he takes different grades of sandpaper in there, and it all comes off by hand. So it gives a lot nicer finish than you would if you were just buying a hat, like a stock hat from any other Western store. Okay, so what I'm fixing to show you now is that we do print our own sweatbands. We use really nice lambskin sweatbands, and we personalize each customer's hat with their name in there. It'll say, custom made especially for Tim McQuay or Mandy McCutcheon or whoever's buying the hat. So what she's doing, what Olga's doing there is she prints the sweatbands, and it specializes them whatever quality the hat is, because there's 3 different qualities of hats. And so that will also go on there, and it's just a gold foil that she heat presses that in there, and so that's what she's doing. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you to one of our other employees, Sophia. And Sophia is the girl that does every hat that comes in for renovation. Sophia is the go-to gal. She tears all the hats, takes pictures of all the hats, and then she tears them all down, and then she hand scrubs everything, lets them spin, and lets them dry, then she puts everything back together. Also, what she's doing here is she also puts all the sweatbands in the hats. So after the hats are sanded and hand sanded, and then they're ready for their sweatbands, they come to the front here. As you can see, all these hats up here. We talked about Olga making the hat bands, and they're specialized for whatever person's name's on them. The machine that Sophia uses for this is actually a sweatband machine, and this old Sanger machine was probably built in the 1920s. And that's all it's used for, because the way the bevel is, or the way the slant is on the arm of the sewing machine, that's the only thing you can use it for, is to sew sweatbands in. Okay, so when we build a hat, this is what we start with, okay, which is all one piece of fur, and what's on my head is what's finished product. So this is the before and the after.
I'm Shorty of Shorty's Hattery, and we'd like to take this time to thank you for coming by and giving us an opportunity to take you on a tour of our shop and let you know exactly what goes into making a hat.